At the army here again. Neither player is supply blocked, however they are very close within range in terms of supply, 61 to 67 supply there. Do have a Hellion taking to the field, which will be very good to combat the Zerglings, which are actually, if you use the Zerglings correctly, Zerglings and Roaches are pretty good versus this force, because what you can do is, if the Terran player is kiting back with his Marauders and Marines, you can use the Zerglings to go behind the forces and kind of cut them off from kiting, and use your Roaches to catch up. That's also pretty dependent on getting both the Zergling speed and the Roach speed, which, I mean, you've really got to have those as the game progresses if you're going to do any sort of focus on Tier 1 units like this game is looking to do. And taking a look at the lair here, we do have more eggs going down. Don't see any speed increases just yet, nor any damage increases to match what the Terran forces have. However, it looks like the Terran is going to try to push in here again. This time he has the Hellions at the very front, trying to do some damage. However, one Hellion did die very quickly, as those Zerglings were able to take it off, as well as the Roaches. So Stem has finally wore off, and we do have a medevac taken to the field, trying to help out and keep those forces regenerated, as this player is very liberal with his Stem packs, as he is continuing to kite the Zerg, even on creep, man. This just really shows you the importance of having the speed upgrade bonuses mid-game. Even on creep, these Terrans are effectively able to kite these forces with Stem pack. So, very important. Zerg players, take note. Make sure you get that speed upgrade, as these Roaches are going to come out here away from the rest of the forces, probably a miss micro by SpoR, as he does retreat his forces away from the Terran units now. That being said, it was a very good idea for him to spread this creep out as far as he did, so that way he is able to get a little bit of a speed boost, because earlier in the game it just wasn't any contest the way he was kiting them. So these forces are continuing to try to engage the Zerg defenses, however, he is being driven off as this Queen does try to come in, help as much as he can. Unfortunately, the Terran player is having to retreat again. It seems like the Terran player is doing a pretty good job of containing and keeping the Zerg player kind of playing reactively. However, he's not doing enough damage to really take any more control than what he already has, which is just kind of passive map control. So Zerg is pushing him back, using these Zerglings very well to try to pick off these units as they are running away. He does get one Marine there. Might get another one. Yes, another Marine does go down. As these forces continue to press now, the fight is at the base of the Terran base. Well, I promise I'll never say that again. And these medevacs here do have 4 finally, and it looks like we got just barely enough units to fight this off. However, the Zerg does not have any anti-air, so we could see some very good micro usage of lifting off the Marauders by the medevacs. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. He did try to kite them around a little bit. However, I think he's just trying to rely on kiting them around, which he is able to do, since Zerg really did not field enough units to take out this combination when microed properly. This is a very deadly force indeed. So Zerg is trying to push the fight down to Terran's base and keep it there. This Queen doing her part. I don't know, maybe she's digging around. Not sure what she is doing, but she is definitely hanging out in the middle of the map here, as the Overlords are splooging creep everywhere. More Banelings taking to the field. And good position on these spine crawlers here, as they will be able to basically keep the Terran forces right here in as small a choke as possible. So, taking a look at the Zerg base just a little bit more here, we do have another hatchery going down. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 hatcheries. Take a look at the production tab. We do have the pneumatized carapace going down, which will give the Zerg the Overlord speed increase, as well as an infestation pit. Infestors will be very good versus this this bio ball here, as it'll pretty much just end the kiting very quickly and do some damage to these units. So not entirely sure what that Overlord was doing here, splooging everywhere, but he was probably scouting, so that's okay. We will forgive him, as this Queen, man, I do not know what she's doing, but she is about to die. Well, maybe. Okay. Yeah, we'll just assume she's going to die here in a minute, as SpoR does have a couple forces here hanging out. Taking a look here, this Queen is going to fight for her life. Unfortunately, that Queen did not really have a chance. Poor Queen. Unfortunately, we do not have a name for you, so we can't really mourn your loss. So these Overlords are playing chicken with the Marines and Marauders. Taking a look, both players just kind of macroing up just a little bit here. More Overlords, probably going to go spread some creep out across the map, as that's what these two are doing right here. And Debo is going to hang out at the Xel'Naga Watchtower, keeping an eye on the movement of these Zerg forces. However, let's take a look at the army for the Zerg. He does have a considerable number of roaches and Zerglings as well with the speed upgrade. So he does have the speed upgrade for the Banelings. You can see they're rolling around there. He does also have the speed upgrade for the Zerglings. And let's take a look at the Roach Den, or Roach Warren. He does have the speed upgrade for that as well. So this will be very interesting to see how the next engagement plays out, as he will effectively nullify that Stimpack speed increase that the Terran player has been using to kite the Zerg forces. Here you can see, sure enough, these units are getting a good surround on the Terran forces. Terran did lift off some of them, however, he did not save all of them, as these Banelings here, what are they doing, man? They might get in here and do some damage, but I kind of doubt it. Nope, that really probably wasn't the smartest move, but that's okay, as these Zerglings are having their way with the Marauder lunch meat that is to be had down here. As another engagement comes, he's still trying to kite around. He does have the Hellion help with the Zerglings. However, with the Roach speed, he is able to keep up and keep continuously doing damage now. The units are very close to each other, so all of those Roaches were able to get in quite a few shots here, as more Banelings are taking to the field here. Terran forces hanging out on the ramp, very good move. Unfortunately, these Banelings do get in here and do a number to these SCVs, as the Zerg player is doing a great fungal growth, gets a very good concave on this ramp, and he is able to get line of sight on just enough units to do some damage. Also throws down some infested Terrans to stall here. I don't know what the deal is with this infester, man. He just did not care about life, as he explodes right next to that mineral line there. And this last infested Terran holds off Debo's forces even longer, making sure SpoR can get away with his one infester. And yep, that guy did not have a chance. As this game continues on, both players going to macro up just a little bit. Rocks going down for SpoR at the high yield with these Zerglings, who are doing their kind of victory circle dance here. Pretty cool stuff by the Zerg player. Terran player moving out with, man, he's got a whole bunch of medevacs here. He's probably got one medevac for every unit he has on the ground. So when you're playing this Terran, you probably don't want to have quite that many medevacs in relation to your land army. But they're probably just accumulating because, you know, the Zerg player still hasn't really gotten an effective anti-air. I mean, fungal growth doesn't really count that much. So he does have, however, he does have a bunch more Roaches, bunch more Zerglings, which will be very good against this force here, as the Zerg forces do get a complete surround, keeping these units from kiting at all. There's the GG from the Red Terran player, as this game does come to a close. I'll go ahead and tell you guys this now. I had actually been looking for a Terran game where Terran was defeated by Zerg for a couple days now. And the reason I picked this one is because I think a lot of players, a lot of average level players, I'm talking not pros, but, you know, just people like you know, your average person on Battle.net, will probably encounter a Marine Marauder medevac strategy pretty often. And for those Zerg players who, you know, might not know how to effectively deal with it, they may just think it's a completely lost hope. I wanted to show this game because you can see, number one, you do have a chance, and, you know, there is a way to combat it, and you just need to use some pretty good micro. And, you know, the Terran player also did some pretty good micro with his Marauders. So I wanted to show you guys that it is possible to counter that. It's not a completely lost cause. So. Anyways, and yeah, I thought it was a pretty good game too. So, taking a look here at the final moments of the game, checking out the player's APM, you can see that Debo was at 144, SpoR was at 178. And taking a look at the final income, it looks like Debo was also at a slight disadvantage, probably because of those Banelings that came in here and took out so many SCVs at the natural expansion during that Roach Zergling attack on the ramp of the Terran base. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I hope you were able to learn from it a little bit. I will actually post a link to the replay in the bottom box where the comments are, so go check it out. I would definitely suggest watching it, just that way you can get an idea of what to do versus Terran. And I will see you guys later.